welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of a 3-part All My Dolls series. So if you haven't watched part 1, you're missing out on these 25 dolls. Make sure you check it out. If you have, get ready for numbers 26 through 50. So I mentioned in the first video that I am an adult collector who doesn't develop full-fledged personalities for my dolls. So in an effort to let you get to know them, even though they don't have full-on personalities, I pulled up a website that has quirky getting to know you questions and asked each doll one question. I'm including their answers on some slides that you can read as I talk to you about them. Make sure you like this video, comment if you want to, subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell if you'd like to get an update whenever I upload a new video. All right, let's get into it. Doll number 26 in our group is Brooklyn. She is a Truly Me 62 who we re-wigged. This wig is not glued down, but it's her go-to wig. In fact, the doll was inspired by seeing somebody else's 62 wearing this exact same wig on an American Girl Facebook page. This is another example of a doll that should not have been retired. Why is American Girl doing us dirty? She's harder to find now, but if you can get her, I highly, highly recommend getting a Truly Me 62. Number 27 is the iconic Addie Walker. My wife purchased her, it's the 35th anniversary edition, and she got her in the Columbus AG store. She already had a PC Addie, but this one's coloring is quite different, a lot warmer, and initially she thought she'd keep both, but because this one's hair is in so much better shape and she just really fell in love with her, she decided to part with the Pleasant Company one and keep this one. Also, because Mattel keeps insisting on putting these girls on diets, the PC one really couldn't fit in pretty much any of the new clothes that AG is putting out these days. So shame on AG for that, but it does make more sense to keep this one. Next up is MAKENA Williams from the World by Us collection. My wife bought all 3 of these dolls online, and then they took so long to arrive that she could have gotten them faster by just driving to the store, which was annoying. Fortunately, all 3 of them were flawless, so no returns. MARITZA OCHOA is number 29 in our collection. I probably would not have gotten this doll. I thought she was a little orangey, and as much as I love Joss, I felt like she just kind of looked like Joss's pissed off older sister who has no time for your nonsense. In hindsight, a lot of that is her under eyelashes, I believe. They just made her look kind of angry. It made her look like she had bags under her eyes, and I was not a fan. So once I got the green light from my wife, I took them off, and I like her much, much better. Number 30 is Yvette Peters. She is the last of the World by Us collection. Not exactly the representation that many people were hoping for from American Girl's first ever biracial black and white doll. Understandably, I'm not going to shy away from a controversial opinion if I happen to agree with it. That said, by herself, I do think on her own merit she is a beautiful doll, so I'm happy that she's part of our collection. Moving on to Truly Me 80, or our AMARA. We got her at the American Girl Columbus store, handpicked her. She was the best one there, but like every Truly Me 80 I've ever seen, she came with the bad eyes. For those of you wondering, what the heck are people talking about when they say the bad eyes and the good eyes? I've got a before and after here. So the bad ones clearly are on the left, and the natural looking ones that are more able to actually look at the camera are on the right. If you're a kid and you're playing with these dolls, who cares, right? But if a part of your enjoyment from doll collecting comes from doll photography, it matters. So we swapped out her eyes for the exact same tone, just the good ones. Next, we have Royce, our Truly Me 26. We bought her from an American Girl Facebook member. She's a 10. She's great. But doing this video is kind of pissing me off at American Girl all over again, because I'm going, 26, why did they retire her? And 31, and 40, and 58, and 75, and 77, and 80, those dolls mattered, and I don't feel like we have gotten representative replacements in this new line. That's a lot of dolls to be retired in the relatively short time that I have been collecting. So I hope you were able to get some of these gorgeous dolls, and I hope that there are more like them coming in American Girl's future. Doll number 33 in our collection is a Truly Me 64 Jade. We got her in the AG Columbus store. We really had no interest in her at all until we saw a visual model on display wearing the 2021 Christmas dress and looking stinking adorable. So we bought one online and one in the store and ended up returning them both. The third time was the charm, and this one's eyes are about as symmetrical as you can hope for a jest mold. Kaya is another doll we didn't plan on getting. Most of our dolls, even the historical ones, spend the majority of their time in modern clothes. And this is strictly a personal thing, but my wife and I both felt a little bit odd about putting Kaya in modern clothes. She just seems to go with her collection. So, and we also didn't plan on buying a bunch of things from her collection. So we thought we probably just won't get her. And then we saw this one, and she is so beautiful. We got her used, and the price was right. And even if she doesn't make it into a ton of our photo shoots, I'm very glad she's part of our collection. Next is our Truly Me 77 Kingsley. We handpicked him from the American Girl doll store, and he's great, but his factory wig is a tiny bit dorky to me. He just looks like he needs a trim, and I had seen somebody who had done exactly that to their doll, which made me really nervous, but also felt kind of necessary. So in this before and after picture, the left-hand picture is actually a progress picture. The one side has been trimmed. You can see our sleeping dog in the background, and the other side is as the wig came straight out of the box. The difference is subtle, but I think it makes him look so much more dapper. It looks like he just came from the barber. So if you have a Truly Me 77 and you want to give him a trim, I would just suggest going really slowly because there's no going back. The next doll in our collection is 2020's Girl of the Year, Joss Kendrick. So far, American Girl has given us 5 dolls with this mold. 5 light to medium skinned, none with freckles, none with short hair, none with curly hair, all brunette, all brown eyed dolls. So they're really, trying to give us variety here. She is my favorite of them, and maybe that is because she is the only one without the painted on eyelashes, or maybe it's just because I think she looks so freaking sweet. I was not impressed by her books. As somebody who's been a sign language interpreter for over 20 years, I was hoping for something that felt a little more authentic, a portrayal of, being hard of hearing or deaf, navigating in a hearing world that just rang a little truer, but that is probably best left for another video. But Joss the doll and her collection, big fan. Number 37 is Taylor, our Truly Me 83. We purchased her from a member of an American Girl Facebook group we're in who lives not too far from us. So we met up at the AG store in Columbus, which was the first and so far only time we've done an in-person meetup with somebody we know from an AG group. The Truly Me 83 was still available, but this person's price was only slightly higher, and it came with 2 outfits we really liked, plus 2 additional wigs. And she had been given a very, very subtle face-up, so she had a little bit more color to her cheeks. Delphine was a spontaneous purchase through Facebook Marketplace in that we were not particularly on the hunt for her. But when you come across a Truly Me 50, which is a little harder to find, and the price is right, which is definitely harder to come across, and the doll looks like she only needs a little TLC, you do it, right? So I drove an hour each way and ended up staying a little longer than I thought, chatting with the great-grandmother who wanted to tell me all about the dolls and show me all of the outfits she still had and see if I wanted to buy any of them. I did not. But it was a lovely visit, and then when I got her home, the doll, not the great-grandmother, I cleaned her up, and she is obviously gorgeous. Giselle was yet another spontaneous Facebook Marketplace purchase. Yes, I feel like I say that a lot in regards to dolls. Anyway, she was a beautiful CYO, and the price was right. If you want to learn more about her story and how we got her, you can check out my All My Dolls CYO edition that I recorded a while back, kind of a precursor to this series, but I don't want to be redundant. What I will share that's novel information is we gave her a full name, which is uncommon for our dolls, and her last name, Teagarden, is a nod to the Aurora Teagarden murder mystery series from the Hallmark Channel, which is mildly embarrassing, but also whatever. Everybody's entitled to a guilty pleasure, right? I did mention that these are in rough, not precise chronological order, right? Yeah, good, because Penelope was definitely purchased before Giselle, but that's okay. Also a marketplace purchase. I got up really early one morning so that I could make the 2-hour round trip to pick her up and get back and put everything away before my wife even woke up. Then I had to restring her in secret and give her hair some TLC and, hide her and wrap her because she was a Christmas present, but she's beautiful. We purchased Corinne Tan and her younger sister Gwen in the AG Columbus store on quote-unquote release day, the release event that we paid extra for, and then they started selling her prior to said event. And the event itself included such fantastic freebies as some stickers and a few bland cookies. Yeah. Underwhelming release event aside, she is a fantastic doll, and I love her big ticket item. We have her bedroom. If you haven't gotten this doll, I recommend her. And if you don't get around to getting her this year or even next year, not really a big deal because they cloned her, took out the blue from her hair, and put her in the Truly Me line. So you can probably get her for years and years to come. Number 42 is Alexis, our customized KANANI. We purchased her locally off Facebook Marketplace. I should probably just stop saying that and let you operate on the assumption that all of the dolls come from Marketplace unless I say otherwise. Anyway, we had gotten a KANANI previously and sold her, and I'd kind of regretted that and mulled over getting another one to keep. Got this one, didn't realize her hair had been cut and how thin it was. So I ended up adding freckles and eyeliner decals and then swapped out her wig. This is a 62 wig. And now we have this beautiful custom. She was loosely based on Alexis, the friend of Kira. The next doll in our collection is Truly Me 62 Lina. Purchased off Mercari. What? Not Facebook Marketplace? I know, my wife bought her. She got her new in box, and yes, we did already have a 62 that we had rewigged and named Brooklyn, but we also really love 62 in her original hairstyle, and Brooklyn had a wig that couldn't be salvaged, so it makes sense for us to have two. Honestly, I love this doll so much that I could have 5 of her and it wouldn't feel excessive. I won't, but I could. We got our Truly Me 75 Oliver at the AG Columbus store. 1, because they were having a sale, and 2, because we suspected that they might be phasing out the boy dolls, which they kind of were, right, until they came out with the whole new line of Truly Me. And at any rate, they definitely were phasing out poor Oliver, so it was a good decision. I, in general, was not a fan of TM75 because there's a spot on some of their wigs at the temple where it just reads really bowl cut and looks super dorky. But fortunately for us, we're within driving distance of a local store, so we are able to hand pick our dolls when we have concerns like that. So he has a great wig and he's lovely. Doll number 45 in our collection is NANEA Mitchell, and in part 1 of this 3-part All My Dolls series, I explained that we have actually purchased 3 NANEAs. So we sold the first one, I customized the second one, and this is our third and permanent Ms. Mitchell. Unlike the Marie Grace mold, which took me quite some time to warm up to, being very different from anything that AG had put out before, this was instant love. I really like the NANEA face mold. That brings us to doll number 46 in our collection, Violet, our Truly Me number 40. I found her as part of a lot locally that included another doll and some accessories. It was pretty affordable and she was pretty rough looking, so I wasn't sure how well she'd clean up. The answer is pretty darn well, obviously. And then she surprised me by becoming one of my favorite dolls in our entire collection. She's by far my favorite Jess mold. Do not tell Jade, our number 64, or Z, or Ivy, or Kanani, or any of the other Jess molds we have, but she is my favorite. And I try not to overuse the adjective sweet when talking about our dolls, but she and our Joss and our Isabel are kind of in a category of their own in just being particularly sweet-faced. Next up is 2011 Girl of the Year KANANI AKINA. I got her through Marketplace after someone totally scammed me on another KANANI I paid for and they never sent. Don't worry, I had purchase protection, so I got my money back. Anyway, it did mean I was on the hunt for another KANANI, and I got her and thought that I would end up customizing this one, but her hair was actually in better shape than our existing one. So that one got rewigged and became Alexis, who I already introduced. And this one just got some TLC. Her hair actually looked pretty good. No haircut, the wig wasn't fried, and considering she was played with by a child, that's a minor miracle in and of itself. Next up is REN, and as I mentioned earlier, I did a separate All My Dolls CYO edition video, so if you want a little bit longer version of her story, you can definitely check out that video. The short version is, this is the first doll that my wife designed, the first CYO that she created, and she absolutely loves her. She's also, so far, the only ADDY mold CYO that we own. And Fallon is the first create your own doll that I designed. If you want her full story, check out that video. The short version is, it was not love at first sight, but now I love her, and she is definitely not the only Sonali CYO that we own. Doll number 50 is the last doll in this video. Part 3 contains the remainder of our collection. So Evie is a custom Truly Me 26 we commissioned from Oh Dear Custom Dolls because we had seen her create a few versions of this doll for other people. She is many people's reimagined Yvette Peters. She's wearing an Yvette wig and has darker brown eyes than 26 originally comes with, very light freckles, and some lip gloss. And there they are, dolls number 26 through 50 in our collection. If you missed the first video, be sure to check that out, and be sure to not miss the gripping conclusion of this epic 3-part All My Dolls series. If you enjoy the content that I'm putting out there, let me know. There's 4 easy ways you can do that. You can subscribe, tap that notification bell so you always know when I post a new video. Give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what it is you like about it. Until next time, thanks for watching.